This special live training with Dennis Yu on the dollar a day system. We are so excited to have everybody here. We're thrilled to have Dennis with us. And Dennis, I want to say thank you for joining us all the way from Las Vegas and taking the time today to offer to sit here with us and share your dollar a day system. I know you've had this in place for years and it has evolved and grown. And I'm excited because it's such a proven system for business owners to be able to go out and share and amplify their content without having to spend thousands of dollars out of the gate. So,
Yeah.
where would you like to start, sir?
Well, Jonathan, let's first see who we've got in the audience, because I want to demonstrate that even though I've spent $1 billion doing this on Facebook and Google and TikTok and whatever over the years, that it works for everyone here in this audience. And I want people to understand today what works and what doesn't work, who it works for, and just like a recipe. If you have a favorite meal, what's a favorite food you have, Jonathan?
Oh, I got to say, lately I've been trying to lose some weight. So, I've been loving, believe it or not, a great salad with some lamb on it. I just am a huge fan of lamb. So, a little bit of
Yeah.
blue cheese, a little bit of lamb,
Okay.
some lots of greens. So,
And
trying
imagine that
to.
for that salad recipe, maybe you have some grilled lamb and tzatziki sauce and whatever you have in that recipe. I'm sure if you went to any other city and you went to Whole Foods and you got those ingredients, you could remake that salad, right?
Absolutely spot
Okay.
on.
Okay. Is there any magic to how you would make that salad or cook your favorite meal?
Just following the steps.
Okay. You don't have to have some crazy kind of belief or faith or voodoo or anything like that?
Not a thing. No, no.
Okay.
Sharp knife helps, but that's about
Okay.
it.
And let's say you had a friend that wasn't a chef, wasn't a Gordon Ramsay, or wasn't even you, but you were giving them instructions. Do you think that they could remake that salad, even if you weren't able to touch, but you were there overseeing it?
No question about it.
Okay, so that's what dollar a day is. There's no magic. So I'd love to see, how do we get people in the audience to participate here? How do we see
They
this?
can chat live.
Okay.
Let me see here a minute here where we've got things at. Um, Mike, our producer's in the background and knows the Restream platform even better than I do. I think the best thing momentarily was just be live chat.
Okay.
And then if necessary, we can try to see if we can bring somebody in. I'll let Mike message us and know if that's something that can be done or not. So,
Or just while we're doing this, I think the easiest thing is I can share my screen and demonstrate dollar a day. Okay.
that would be
So I
fabulous.
I have a whole presentation. I'll just show you in case people want it. If you guys want this whole presentation, just message Stephanie at blitzmetrics.com for any of these items here. We're literally just giving away. We just found the best thing is just give away everything that you know. So the idea of dollar a day is you amplify what's already working, right? And actually, let's do this. You see my screen?
We can see the screen. Yep. We've
Okay.
got a couple comments,
Okay.
people saying hi and hi, Dennis.
Okay.
So we've got some people with us.
All right. Who wants to volunteer their site? Ooh, Jeremy Mullins.
Jeremy, you got a site that you want us to take a look at?
You know what? While we're looking up, I'm going to say Jeremy Mullins. Oh, okay. Valorous Circle. So when I Google Jeremy Mullins, he owns his results, and there's your face there too. And I can see his LinkedIn shows up, which is often what happens when you Google someone's name, right? Not a surprise, some pictures, social media. But there's no knowledge panel here on the right side. You see that, Jonathan and
I
Jeremy?
do.
Okay. And I could also go to ChatGPT and I could say, who is Jeremy Mullins? You might wonder, why am I doing this? Well, the ability of the AI to optimize for you is based on how much it knows. And this is true of the ad system. For the ads, the idea of dollar a day is amplifying what the system knows about you. So whatever is working well for you on Google, on Facebook, on YouTube, on email, and whatever's working well, we're trying to get more of it. So the AI's ability to optimize is based on how well it knows who you are, right?
Makes
So
sense. Yep.
so Jeremy Mullins is not known by ChatGPT, which is 2 years behind. Bard is more up to date. That's Google's AI, which is not based on the typical LLM, large language model, and doesn't know enough on Bard either, which normally it does. So how about
Dennis, you want to just pull mine up maybe? Would that
yeah.
see if Not saying I'm going to probably need some help too, because I know I don't have the knowledge panel yet. So I'd
Uh-huh.
love to learn a little about that just along with everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. There should be a lot of stuff that pulls up. Okay. There you are. Is this true? You're in Grand Rapids?
Yep, that's me.
And who is Lincoln Investment?
No idea.
Okay. So there's someone
That's
else.
probably there's
These
a
are these
couple
other
other
people.
Jonathan Masts. Yep.
Okay. And this one's you, but this Jonathan Mast. So I don't think that you don't play
That
for
is
the
definitely
Pittsburgh
not me.
Thunderbirds.
No.
Okay. You weren't born in 1994, although hey, you never know. Okay, so Google is a little confused on who Jonathan Mast is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the number one result is your Instagram, and I think that's you. We're both Christian entrepreneurs. I
Yep.
love everybody, but there's no knowledge panel because several reasons. One is that there's many Jonathan Mast, so Google is only going to show up if it's absolutely clear.
Okay.
And this seems to be another Jonathan Mast in digital marketing, is it not? Or is this you too as well? Oh, it
Nope,
is.
that's another
Oh, it's
that's
one,
another
right?
one.
Yeah. Okay. Who would have thought? I mean, there's a lot of Dennis Hughes. Who would have thought? So, there's confusion on which Jonathan Mast is most authoritative. And it's often, there's a lot of people who are named Dennis Yu as well. And secondly, you don't have a website that ranks here. Your social medias. I love social media, but social media is rented property.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, you need to have your website here, jonathanmast.com, Valorous Circle or whatnot. There needs to be one URL. Now, if you're a service business, and you might say, well, I'm not here about my personal brand and it's not about me. And I'm not trying to be Tommy Mello or a podcaster. People are still going to Google your business name and Google your name. And whether
Absolutely.
you like it or not, you as a founder, the stories come from you. The trust comes from you. There's a lot of other people that do home services, that do garage doors and plumbing and whatever, that do the same thing. And people buy from other people. So the same is going to be true of your text that you send out or anyone that's involved. You need to basically own their names. So anyone who joins our team, we go to GoDaddy and buy their name. It's just part of our onboarding process. What do you think about that, Jonathan?
Oh, I think it's great, and what's interesting to me is obviously you're seeing different results where you are than what I normally do. And I've got a website; it's been up for about a decade, and it's interesting. It's not showing because when I do a search, it does. So that's part of the interesting thing about Google and Google search.
Well, just because it
shows
up for you because you go there all the time, right? But
yeah, that's true.
What matters is what shows up for other people, not what you see.
Absolutely. That's why it's good to see this.
Yeah. So if you Google me, you see this knowledge panel. You see, most people don't know that this whole thing here is a knowledge panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shows pictures and videos and all this kind of stuff. And then here on the right side, these other pieces, the social media pieces, the people that you're also like, all this stuff down here, this is all part of the knowledge panel, right? This is all the knowledge panel. And then notice, you see up here, news, images, videos, courses, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
This is all part of the knowledge panel as well. Because this is a knowledge panel, if I click on courses, like which you want to name one of these, choose one of these, Jonathan.
Oh, let's go ahead and let's take a look at either news or Twitter.
News, okay? So news, here's all this news. And it's all my stuff. And if I go back and I look at Twitter, it's going to show, well, my Twitter, of course. And see, so these things change based on what's in your knowledge panel. If I use your business, and all you guys can do this is say, you should always be Googling yourself. And if you don't think it matters, I promise you it does. People who, like, you might have great digital marketing because, look, your entity shows up. See that there? That means it knows who you are. You might have amazing Facebook ads and SEO and all that kind of stuff, but I guarantee you people are Googling you, right? They're Googling your firm. They're looking at reviews. I don't need to be telling you guys this, but you need to show up properly on Google.
Absolutely.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 site links. Fantastic. You can't force the number of site links that show up. And you have 4.9, 163, of course. And usually the cobbler's son has no shoes. But,
yes.
But this is pretty good. So all these things are showing up here. Often it's going to be your GMB, which is now called Google Business Profile. So why am I doing all of this, and what does this have to do with dollar a day? So when I Google you, whatever things show up, whatever's doing well for you, whatever the best video, whatever the best piece of content, the best, showing whatever it is. When I look up Valorous Circle or Jonathan Mast or your business or your name, that's what we want to put through Dollar a Day. Dollar a Day is an amplifier of what's already working. It's a testing methodology that goes across all different platforms. So let's say that Valorous Circle wants to, get more plumbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And here's this one thing you have, how to rank in local SEO. And let's say it's for plumbers, right? And you put it out there 2 months ago and only 15 people have seen it. But let's say this is a great video and it actually helps plumbers and HVAC companies be able to rank better in local SEO. Let's just pretend that's the case. I'm sure it's the case, right? But I'm not going to sit through this 34-minute video, right?
Sure.
This applies to any service business. So just because we're looking at Jonathan's agency doesn't mean it doesn't apply. I mean, this is for anyone who's selling a service, like any kind of local business. This is, let's say it's your video here, right? Whoever it is, doesn't have to be Jonathan's video, your video here. Well, no one's seeing it, right? This is the whole chicken egg of the internet. No one's seeing it. But let's say this is that you're actually sharing your best advice and all this. Let's say this is really good. Well, how do we get more people to see it? I might
$1 a day.
and I could boost it for $1 a day on YouTube. And I could even take that and I could say, I could go here to Twitter and I could say, plumbing and HVAC companies need to understand this about local SEO. So I wrote it to be topically relevant, but also with like a little bit of clickbait. And this is why everyone needs to be on Twitter, whether they're there or not, just so they can be tagged, so I can tag you there. And I put this video, and here it is. And there I've tweeted about you, right? And
thank you.
If we look at my tweets, we can see that this tweet is here, right? But I need people to see it. So the idea of $1 a day is I'm going to boost it. I can do this on every single platform. I just happen to be on Twitter for whatever reason right now, but whatever. I'm choosing engagement, which is always what I'm going to choose because I want the system to figure out what is going to work for me. And how much am I spending, Jonathan?
Whatever you like, Dennis. I'm grateful.
Now, what is it? What is this webinar about?
$1 a day.
$1 a day. That's right, for 7 days. Why don't I just let it keep running forever?
Well, because we want to see how it's doing. Obviously, some are going to do better than others.
Okay. Well, why don't I spend $10 a day?
Well, why do we need to do that in order to find the winners? We can do that once we've identified whether the video is a winner or not.
Oh, okay. But I'm a really big deal. I do $14 million as a plumbing company, and I service, 3 states. Why don't I spend $100 a day?
I don't want to throw away money on stuff that people aren't going to be interested in. The algorithm's going to figure out what works, and they're going to tell us on $1 a day, and then we can put more money on it at that point in time.
Okay. So who do we want to see this video, this tweet?
We would want owners of plumbing companies or possibly marketing directors at a plumbing company.
Okay, so plumbing companies. So I can't type in plumbing companies, but if you're a plumbing company, what services or industries or conferences are you a part of? Or what tools do you use? You may be using a Service Titan. Maybe like what if you are a customer of so-and-so, or so-and-so is a partner, that probably means you're director of a plumbing company.
They could very well be using Service Titan. That would be an excellent one.
Okay. So now I'm targeting Service Titan. And if they're using Service Titan, then they're probably also one of these people, right? Plumbing manufacturing, whatever. So they're buying, if I'm targeting this plumbing manufacturing company and they're a group of the ASPE, this is probably what, American Society of Plumbing or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's plumbing contractors. Yep.
So you know who these are. I don't know who these people are. Contracting business, whatever. These are where plumbers get together. Now, do you think any of these are where there's, because IAPMO, I imagine that's also some sort of organization for plumbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's any consumers that are in these audiences, like mom and
probably not?
Okay, so because you wanted this, you're targeting B2B.
Correct.
You're targeting the business owners of plumbing companies. So that's what we have here. But you understand what's going on here, $1 a day, is we're targeting who they are. We're not targeting the keyword search they have on, my toilet is clogged or emergency plumber, right?
Exactly.
Search is about literal intent. This is not based on a keyword. This is based on who they are, right? So if they're a member of this such and such organization, then they're probably the person you want to reach. And there's only 9,000 of them, right? Which is not bad. So I'm
That's
running
about
a
right.
dollar. I'm running $1 a day. How many people am I going to reach for $1 a day?
I'm looking on the screen. I'm not seeing it on my screen, but I'm probably missing it. But it doesn't
Well,
matter. Even
I'm
even if we reach 50 or 100, it's going to give us a sampling.
Yeah. So $1 a day used to let us, like 16 years ago, we used to be able to reach 4,000, 5,000 people. Now you only reach 40 or 50 people because inflation and the cost of advertising goes up. But here I've just chosen this tweet among all the tweets I've made, and I can come in, I can search for any kind of tweet I've made about plumbing. I've said a lot about plumbing, digital plumbing. It's a different kind of plumbing, right?
Absolutely.
Digital plumbing. So I can take any of these tweets I've ever made from over the years and be able to promote that. Is there a tweet that you've made or a YouTube video or a Facebook post or LinkedIn or a blog post or whatever that you've made that probably was good, but you put it out there only organically and so it lasted a day and then that's all you ever got, which is a shame? Has that happened?
All too frequently. Absolutely.
So are you spending more time creating new content all the time, or are you spending time getting more out of what's already been working?
I'm guilty of doing new content every day.
New content every day. What a shame. Why do you do that when I'm not asking rhetorically? This is a real
No,
question.
no, that's okay.
You should be spending 80% of your time getting more out of your greatest hits, out of what's already working. Axl Rose sings "Sweet Child of Mine," Paradise City. That was from 1987.
Absolutely.
You
I
know,
still love it.
yeah, and that was 40 years ago. I saw Axl Rose live in concert, the Fat Axl, and he didn't sing as well as he used to, but he's still collecting royalties off that content he made. And so all of us as professional services should put some stuff out there, find things that have won, that have done well, and then just allow that to continue to run. You can still keep making new content, but don't feel like you continue to need to do that. That's the power of $1 a day. Well, I don't want to spend money on advertising. Well, then do you not go to FedEx or the post office or UPS? We're delivering things, okay? I'm paying for delivery. It's like technically advertising, okay? So
It
here's the
sounds like
targeting.
digital postage. Yeah.
It's digital postage. So we're spending $1 a day targeting people who follow these people. Okay. Now I've launched this campaign. I've created it start to finish. How hard was that to do?
It took us, what, 2-3 minutes? No big deal.
Yeah. Now let's go look at performance. So how do I know whether an ad is good or not? So let's say I boost 10 of these, so I've spent $70. Right? Because I followed what Dennis says about $1. Okay, fine. I'll try Dennis's $1 a day. I got to spare 20 minutes here. I'll just boost some posts on Facebook or whatever. How do I know whether it's working or not?
Well, we're going to want to take a look at the engagements that we're getting.
Okay.
And I mean, we could look at views, we could look at comments, we could look at interactions.
Yeah. But ultimately, we're trying to drive new clients. We want to see whether
Absolutely.
engagement is the first step. But then when they engage, then do we get their email? Do they make a phone call? Do they become a client? Like all that kind of stuff, right?
Exactly.
Down the phone. But the first step, and the reason why we're doing this initial boosting, is if they don't even engage initially, if you can't stop them as they're scrolling through TikTok or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, if we don't stop them, then it doesn't matter what you said after the first 2 seconds because they've already passed you. So you agree that if you don't capture their attention in the first 2 seconds, it doesn't matter.
Undoubtedly.
Right? Okay. So this $1 a day helps us quickly filter for which ones are even in contention. We're not claiming that if they pass this initial filter, which I'm about to show you, we're not claiming that means it's a winning ad. We're just trying to kill the obvious losers so we don't waste money.
Makes sense.
Right? Okay. So this ad we just launched just now, this tweet, and it's not live yet. So we have a 0 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm boosting these other posts and I'm trying to be very, very relevant. I'm trying to make sure whatever content I put out there where I'm showing how to solve a particular problem, how to rank in local SEO, how to fix my squeaky garage door, how to whatever, or just any kind of story that it's relevant to that audience that I've selected. And so the intersection of content and targeting with Google is called relevance score. And with Facebook and other social networks, it's called quality score. And with social networks, it's called relevance score, right? And the number one factor there is click-through rate, which is also engagement rate. So here I'm looking at this. I made one I guess yesterday or whatever, and 2.9%. You see this on the right side here?
I sure
2%,
do.
0.4%. Then all of a sudden, 17%.
There's your winner.
Yeah. So you can see here, 2,000. I know for people that don't do math, just follow me here. 2,000 people saw this, and 375 people engaged, which is 17%, which is almost 20%, like 1 in 5. Okay. So 1 in 5 people, I'm just rounding. Okay. I know it's actually 1 in 6. 1 in 5 people who saw this thing, which is saying, if you're in Chicago, you got to stop at this restaurant. What is the average CTR, Jonathan, on ads?
Oh my goodness, 1-2% if you're lucky.
If you're the average is actually 0.2%.
Is it that low now? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So which means 99.8% of people just scrolled right past you saying your stuff's not relevant. And I get it. Like, yeah, the customer for, replacing garage door might be worth $17,000. And so we're willing to play the numbers and always be calling and run ads and hit them on the head 20 times because that's what they told us, in advertising, we have to hit them with direct mail and billboards.
Yep.
And yeah. But here's what I'm saying in digital with $1 a day. If you're, because they're like bazooka spraying people. I mean, yes, I guess you'll hit enough targets if you just wear a blindfold and you just spray your bazooka everywhere. But what if you could laser precision target so you're not wasting? I'm saying, listen, you need a 10% engagement rate minimum to start. If you're not getting 10%, everything after that is wasting money. Okay. Oh, but we got a lot of money and we're a big player and we just want to have lots of impressions because it's our, the Yellow Pages has been good to us. Like, okay, good for you. But if we're not hitting 10%, something's wrong. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Okay. So the reason why this one worked well is my buddy owns some restaurants in Chicago. It's called La Gondola. They actually do have really good Italian food. I feel like they're part of the mafia because it's so good. But I targeted just the neighborhoods there. So how likely, Jonathan, do you think people who saw this on Twitter because of the targeting have probably driven by one of his restaurants and recognize it?
Incredibly high likelihood.
Yeah. So is that because I'm really good at advertising or because I have a really good ad? Like, is it because I shot it on a $60,000 red camera or something like that? No, I used a freaking iPhone, right? I'm just boosting a tweet, just like the thing we had here. You were in your freaking car for that video that you made. Okay. 1%, 2.8%, 3%, 6%, 10%. Ooh, okay.
There you go.
10%, 1%, 5%, 16%.
Another winner.
3%, 18%. Okay. Now, this one was, I made this at a conference, at a flooring coating conference. And it says, "Hey, Shawnee, Kansas, your floors are ugly and stinky. And my name is so-and-so, and I do, beautiful floors. And I don't know anything about these flooring people. I'm floored the fact that there's even a whole industry around this thing, right? Well, do you think and so I just put this guy on the spot, right? This dude here, he sucks on video. Look how bad he is. Listen to him. Oh, well, it's actually probably better not to play it. This is at a conference. I was giving a presentation. I said, "Sir, come on up here. Like, raise your hand if let's make an ad together. Let's demonstrate $1 a day live. Sir, what's your name? And what do you do?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm from Shawnee, Kansas, and I run so-and-so, flooring, custom flooring, whatever," right? Okay, good. Now I want you to say, "Hey, Shawnee, Kansas, your floors are ugly. My name's so-and-so, and this is my company. Contact us for a quote, and we can have your garage looking beautiful," or, whatever it is he says, right? That's what he said, right? And this guy, you can play it. He's bad on video, okay? Doesn't matter. I didn't edit it. I just literally, you can see there's no video editing. I literally, at the conference, I literally just posted it on the spot live, like the ad we just made now. And it got an 18% engagement rate.
It's amazing.
What does that mean? So Jonathan, explain $1 a day here. What is going on here?
Well, very simply, for whatever reason, and that's always the hard part. We have to accept we won't always know. That ad resonated with the people in Shawnee, Kansas that you targeted with it. And that's the part that matters. It resonated with them.
Oh. Is it because I'm an expert in targeting?
Well, you're good at it, but you picked the area. I mean,
because it said Shawnee, Kansas. Hey, Shawnee, Kansas. How likely do you think someone who saw the ad is like, I'm in Shawnee, Kansas, and they decided to watch and like, oh, who is this guy? Oh, shoot, he's actually just like his office is like a mile from me, or I actually recognize some of the houses that he's been, whatever the floor is. Oh, I know
Exactly.
that guy, or I know that business that he did that floor for. I actually used to eat there every Friday. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like, oh shoot, that's locally relevant to me. This is not just
Mm-hmm.
something on the internet. Like, oh, is he like driving around? Like, oh, I drive through that intersection too all the time. I recognize that.
Absolutely.
I'm creating that local relevancy. Is it because I'm really good at shooting video that it got, I have a really good hook, or it's because the guy's like a really good spokesperson? Is that why the CTR is so high?
No, no, it's
Okay.
relevant though to the people that are
Huh.
seeing it, and that's what matters.
Huh. Okay. And so he's doing home services, right? Which is a kind of boring thing. And we're trying to compete against all these people that are doing interesting, fun things on the internet, like celebrities and magicians and entertainers and sports people and people who sing really well. And my stuff's not going to work because, I don't have some beautiful girl and all that, right?
Oh yes.
This random guy, 18% in his driving leads, 0.9%. Oh, 10%. Huh. 4%, 2%, 10%. Okay, so this is a fun one too. So I've flown 6.5 million miles. I've
Wow.
flown a lot, right? 250,000 miles a year, basically for the last like 25 plus years. And I said, hey, here's my favorite travel hack for business, and why I do it with Southwest, because Southwest Airlines has companion pass, so you can bring someone for free.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other things like I know how to play their game, like with the miles and credit cards, and like how to the whole like points game. I know how to play
Absolutely.
that game, right? I had a friend who refilled Air Force One. He was with the president. They were in the Middle East, and it was $700,000, and he put it on his black card, so he earned 700,000 miles. If you can imagine that.
Wow.
I didn't think that was allowable, but okay, he's got me beat. But I didn't think he could do that. But I'm sure the White House will reimburse you. Okay, so 10% engagement. Now you can see that there's a lot of these. And what percent of the time am I hitting 10%?
I'm saying going through there probably 1 in 8, 1 in 10.
1 in 10. Yeah. And I found that it's about 1 in 10 for some reason. And we've done it for the Golden State Warriors, for Ashley Furniture, for Quiznos, for Starbucks, for Nike, for restaurants, for Tommy Mello's A1 Garage, for dentists, for all kinds of service businesses. And it seems like about 1 in 10 work. But what happens, Jonathan, is that people, they start advertising and they say, I tried Dennis's dollar a day strategy and it didn't work. You know why it didn't work?
They didn't try long enough, or
Oh, they
try
tried like
enough
one or
videos.
two. Yeah, they
Yeah.
tried one or two and they got 2%. They got whatever. Didn't drive. They got 0.09%. This was terrible, right? Look, I thought this one was pretty good. I said, hey, attending World of Concrete in Las Vegas. So I targeted people who are going to this conference in Las Vegas. Then come to our seminar, and Ryan Davis is there, and he grew Cardinal Concrete to $1.5 million in the first year. And I got a picture of him, right?
Great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought this is fantastic. And so I made a whole bunch of these. And here's another one. Are you going here? Come to our thing, and this one got a 0.09%. And then these other ones, they're just, sometimes it's more and sometimes it's less. But here, here's the point. I thought this was going to do really well. And it sucked. And I think that I'm an expert. I think I know better. But I'm wrong every single time. So if I'm wrong all the time, I guarantee you're wrong all the time too. So we just let the data. So we'll make 10, all kind of around the same theme. And one of them will just, for some reason, do better than the others. That's just how the math works. Okay. It's literally how it works. You see how that is? I'm letting the system do the work for me. So, right now we're in the middle of the NBA playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how many teams start in the NBA playoffs? Like 16 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And then, then there's 8 and there's 4, there's 2. And then eventually there's one team that wins the whole thing, right?
Absolutely.
So the NBA has a system where as these teams get eliminated, eventually there's one winner, and that one winner gets the prize, and they get the, and so you basically want to hold the playoffs for your advertising on Facebook, on YouTube, on whatever it is. So if I go over to Facebook and I see that, let's go to my Facebook. Okay. So I've got almost 1 million followers. If you add up my profiles and whatever, I'm at 1 million. So there's content like this content's done pretty well. You can see, right? And just imagine this is for your service business. I'm speaking Perry Marshall's thing. Let's see, Jonathan, you have this, join me and Dennis on this thing here. So I'm making all these posts and I can boost them. You see that blue button?
Absolutely.
I can boost these posts and I can, like here, I was at the trampoline park yesterday. See that? And you can see
I
I did
saw
a
that
slam
video.
dunk.
That was
Isn't that
awesome with
neat?
your slam. Yeah, that was awesome.
Dennis is nearly 50 and these kids they're impressed. They call me OG. They're like, yeah, can't believe Dennis can actually, look, Dennis does a windmill. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. I'm going to go there in a couple hours after this webinar and go like lose another 30 pounds. I've lost 30 pounds in the last 6 months. This
That is
guy has 2
amazing.
million followers on YouTube and I can boost this post to my fans. I can boost it to people that work at Sky Zone. I can boost it to the media. I can boost it to influencers. I can, like any post I have, there's an angle, right? And think about who you want to boost. And it may just be, I want to get more plumbing HVAC clients. I want to get more partnerships with other home services companies, with general contractors, with other people where they can refer me in because they're already doing something with the house. Because anyone who's doing something with the house is also going to want to bring me in and, the real estate agents and mortgage brokers, like all those people, right? I need to build
Absolutely.
relationships in my neighborhood. I can do the same thing here. I could take any one of these. So like the Sky Zone here in Las Vegas, I can boost it to people that are in Las Vegas, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been to that Sky Zone," right? I mean, it's a
Very
wild
cool.
stretch, but I'll just say, for example, let's say a plumbing contractor, he had a birthday party at Sky Zone, and he shows that he's a family man, and all the kids are coming and celebrating Johnny's 5th birthday. Then they're like, oh, this guy's a family man too, and he also is a Christian, and they're at church, and they're celebrating Easter, whatever it is, right? So here other people are. This was just yesterday. This is live. This is not a presentation. I'm not in PowerPoint. I'm on my Facebook. You can see here this guy in Switzerland yesterday. You can see said, hey, he got his socks from me, and he
How
tagged me in
cool.
it. Now I can take that and I can boost it. So Jonathan, what do you think is more powerful? Me saying, hey, I really care about people and I care about relationships. And because of that, I'm going to really take care of you as a client because you can just believe me when I tell you how good I am at taking care of my friends and clients and all that versus tons and tons of proof of other people saying, yeah, Dennis takes care of his people.
Absolutely. The proof from other people. Much more credible.
So what's more powerful in your boosting? You talking about yourself or the collection of other people that have said good things about you?
Without a doubt, the collection of other people.
So in your advertising, in your boosting and all, why aren't most people taking what other people have to say about them? Okay. So whether you like Grant Cardone or not, I shared what he had to say. Right. So Dennis, wants here, and then a little further along, he says some more.
Yeah, we're not getting the sound all the way through. At least I'm not. But
So it's coming through my microphone. Okay, yeah. That dude you're working with, Dennis Yu, he's a bad man, right? So I got Grant Cardone saying, "Hey, Dennis is, Dennis asked
hugely
me.
credible.
Dennis wanted me to share this tip on how to make a 1-minute video, and he made a 1-minute video, and 100,000 people saw it, right? And then I boosted it to. I'll show you. Who do you think I boosted it to? It's Grant Cardone making a video about. I asked him to make a 1-minute video because we're teaching this whole thing on how to make videos. And who do you think we boosted it to?
Well, I would think you'd start by boosting it to his audience and taking
Yeah, I made a
advantage of his
40%
audience.
view rate. 40% of the people stopped and watched the video, and they watched it all the way through because he's interesting. So does that mean I'm an expert internet marketer?
Of
What did I
course
do?
it does, Dennis.
No.
No, but you were logical. You said, all right, we know that his people that follow him are going to be paying attention. Let's boost it to them.
Yeah. So is it a surprise that 10% is a decent minimum on what you should get when you're boosting?
No.
Okay. So if I take anything that's worked well for me, let's say, now I'll show some of this, but the caveat is that you don't have to be famous or be on TV, but I happen to have been on TV and have, argued with Zuckerberg on CNN and all these sorts of things. Okay. So I have the media, all this speaking, best-selling book. And just imagine, Jonathan, we took what was in your phone. You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So,
Full
and
of pictures and video.
even if it's an Android, you can still do it on Google Photos and whatnot. But I imagine there's like different clips of you in Grand Rapids and just in the neighborhood. And all of us, we have stuff on our phone. Now, it doesn't mean every single thing you're going to put out there, but there's some things like you're at a conference or
Sure.
you're interviewing a new person or you're celebrating one of your employees. It's their 7th year with you. Like there's all sorts of moments like that on your phone, but you've never gotten around to downloading it and like all the tedious whatever to send it over to a VA or hire someone on Fiverr. That whole too many friction points to get that stuff processed, right?
So true.
Okay. But let's just say that stuff's there and you've got lots of stories and videos and all this. And let's say that I go to my Google Photos. So I'm paying $10 a month, right? For Google to automatically pull it on off my phone. I'm not uploading anything. It's automatically doing this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay. So name a city anywhere in the world.
Well, you and I most recently saw each other in Miami, so let's go for Miami.
Okay. All right. So Miami. And do you think I'm meticulously going through all my photos and categorizing where they are and who it's with and what we're doing and do you think I have time to do that?
Not a chance, Dennis. You're way too busy.
Yeah. So all this stuff is automatically being categorized for me, right? It's Miami. And this is Twiggy the squirrel. Twiggy the squirrel is famous for water skiing in Miami. And this girl takes Twiggy everywhere and drives a boat. Isn't that wild? And here's where it is. And it was on an old iPhone because it was 2015. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I could go even a little further and I'll go to Florida because I don't think technically we're in Miami when we met. So let's go back to Florida.
No, I think you're right. We probably weren't. Yeah, we were south of that.
Okay, here we are. And this is the conference we were at.
Yep.
And let's look for the guy with the big white beard.
I think we might have taken it on my phone instead of yours.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was on your phone. Okay. Well, anyway, so here's.
But yeah, I've got the same thing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So this is Seth Price.
Yep.
It means Seth Price has 2 8-figure firms. He is a personal injury attorney, so he's got a law firm that does 8 figures, and he's got an SEO agency for law firms. Imagine that. Of course, law firms trust him because he's a lawyer himself, right?
Absolutely.
And all this stuff is automatically sorted. You can see these faces that are here, right? It's tagging. Google is tagging. Lynn Askin is even photobombing here, right?
I was just going to say, I see Lynn in the background.
Yeah. And then I could do a search for Josh Nelson. It's grabbing everything with Josh Nelson. So this is Fat Dennis from a few months ago. And I'm skinnier Dennis now. And actually, no, this is from a year ago. Still Fat Dennis, right? and you can see the details that are here. It's automatically on my phone, right? So the VAs can grab this without me doing anything. Because the VAs can say, grab anything with Josh Nelson in Miami or anything, any activity or any sort of thing that can be categorized. So name an activity or name a food or name a thing or name something, a place, name something.
If we're over there, how about the Brazilian steakhouse?
I wonder if it knows Brazilian. Huh.
How about hibachi? That's a little more broad. I know there was a hibachi.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, this is picanha. That's absolutely the case. This is a Brazilian steakhouse. Like, okay, Google, thank you. Your AI. Yep, Galpo Gaucho is one of my favorite Brazilian steakhouses. Okay, so name an activity.
How about hiking?
I love hiking. Love nature. So the AI, I want everyone to understand the AI is helping us organize and I was at Red Rock just a few days ago. Beautiful in Vegas, not for gambling, but for, this sort of thing. I was out in the woods with my buddy Bob of USCCA. We took his business from 6 million to 65 million a year using $1 a day.
Wow.
So we're out there biking and, he swears by what we're doing. He thinks it's magical. Well, he knows it's not magical. It's literally following the gym is not magical. You just freaking have to do it every day until you get the result. Okay. I'm showing you the result. I'm showing you like what to do. Hiking, like all this stuff. Right. So am I categorized? So here I am with Chris Cawley and we're making videos together. Do you think that that I had to categorize this video that's on my iPhone with any of this
No,
information?
that's the beauty. Google did it. They identified where you were. They identified Chris, everything.
Yeah. And this is where we were out in Red Rock Canyon. It knew that, right?
So impressive.
Yeah. So is this me or is the AI already doing everything for us?
Almost, other than putting it into a reel, it's pretty much there.
Yeah. And there's AI tools, which we don't have time to go into unless you want to, that automatically chop up your videos, automatically turn them into articles, automatically turn them into social media snippets and blog posts and chat GPT sorts of things, right? So I
Amazing
could go
stuff.
to,
Yeah.
is there anyone here, like name a business? There's someone here watching live and I can show you, let's find your best content. Because the reason why we're doing this, I'm showing you the collection of the content here. There's 4 stages. You see this purple box first?
Mm-hmm.
The collection of the content, I'm going to hypothesize you already have. All of us, we already have on our cell phones about our
Agreed.
business. Because if you're the business owner, you're just naturally going to be, at job sites and just stuff in your day to day and things that you think are not professional. It doesn't matter. The more unprofessional, the better. The more amateur look. You don't need a videographer coming out and doing all this fancy stuff. I'm literally showing you. I've done tests with where the clients brought a $50,000, like they spent $50,000 on a professional photo shoot with like these Hollywood movie people that come in with all their gear, and versus Dennis with the cell phone. Who do you think wins in terms of conversions?
Dennis with the cell phone, hands down.
Is it because I'm like a pro at, aperture and focus and lighting and sound and all that?
No, but you're authentic, and that's what people want.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I literally show all I do, and I've done this many times. I can prove it. We can search on my phone right now. I have followed service businesses around as they go about and do their thing. Follow the plumber around. I've done that. Follow the real estate agent around in the house. Follow them around as they do their thing. And the plumber or real estate agent or dentist or personal injury attorney, they think their stuff is so mundane, but I'm just asking dumb questions like, why did you do that? And what's the next stage here? And how did you assess this job? And what did you think about that client? And what, I'm just asking these questions along the way, which they think are all just like super obvious questions, but they're not. It's actually fascinating to a potential client. Even if they don't understand the process of flooring or fixing the air conditioning unit, there's a level of trust when you see the expert explain what they're doing step by step. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So with all that being collected in the purple, if you and your technicians are collecting the stuff in the purple, then it's being processed by a virtual assistant who works fully for you, 100% for you, full time at $500 a month, which is $3 an hour. And then that VA also publishes it, that third phase, meaning using these tools like a Descript, which is a Swiss Army knife of like,
fabulous tool. Thank you for
yeah,
introducing me to that, by the way. That's amazing.
I have no ownership in this company, even though like they feature me on their site and all that stuff. I have no, like, I'm literally a user of all these different, I mean, the CEOs of the companies know who I am. So they always let me see the new features and get my opinion, which is great. Sometimes they buy meals and things like that, but I am no way like incentivized. Okay. I get to use all the tools. It's not about the tools. Okay. It doesn't matter. I'm not even going to talk about the tools. There's lots of tools. Okay. And the VAs you want the VAs to use the tools, not you. You don't have time for that. Then they publish it to YouTube, Facebook, Google My Business, your website, your blogs, like all this stuff. And then you dollar a day it. So the dollar a day is the amplification, this 4th stage, of content that lives on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, of content that was processed so it could live on these other channels, of raw content that you started with. You see that? So every stage here multiplies the power of your content by 10 because you have these short little video clips or whatnot, and you can start collecting them now if you want. And I can show you how to make the 1-minute videos and what the topics are. Super easy. Processing it, which is easy to do, cleaning up the sound. Then you can have it live on many channels. So never have your content live in just one place. Always repurpose it. So that little boost we made, let's see how we're doing. This one was just a few minutes ago. Oh, this one we made, 89 people have seen it, and 3 people have engaged on it. I put it on Twitter, but I can boost that on YouTube. I can boost it on whatever it is, right?
Yep.
I didn't hit 10%. I got 3 out of 90, which is 3%. But that's okay. That's 1 out of 10. And
that's 1 out of 10, right? Exactly.
Yeah, but also you can see these zeros here in blue. The ad has not turned on yet. So potentially when the system optimizes, I could get my 10% because of the advertising. But I'm not going to just take this one video. This is like I get one attempt at a half court shot. And it may or may not. Maybe I'm really good at basketball, but making a half court shot still a risky proposition, even if you're Steph Curry, right? So I'm going to take many
Absolutely.
shots on goal. I'm going to boost lots of these posts on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, right? And I guarantee you, you do enough of these, 1 in 10 will win. That's great, right? Even if I am blind, even if I suck at basketball, if you let me shoot 100 shots, one of them will go in, right? Even if I suck. And that's what's happening here. Is I'm taking raw content that's from my phone and the phone of my technicians, and we have a certain technique on how we like to collect videos, which is for another day. But you can see there's no magic to dollar a day. Dollar a day is an amplification of what's already working for you, and that's what this is, right? If you have your tracking in place through your call rail and Service Titan and HubSpot and Active Campaign and Go High Level and all that, you know what a lead is worth in the lifetime value, phase 2. You're creating these 1-minute videos, which is what we've been talking about here. You know exactly who to target in your neighborhood if you're a local business. If you're an agency, then you target that particular type like we talked about. Then the amplification, which is boosting, is the dollar a day thing, which allows us to get more out of what's already working. Saying thank you is also amplification. These are all different ways of getting more out of what's already working in your business. Then you can optimize and you can spend $10 a day, $100 a day, whatever it is against whatever's winning. And so this whole framework that we teach is about how do you figure out at different points along the way what's working and how do you automate things a little bit better and how do you stack based on which posts do best at which stage in the funnel. This is the whole thing. Then you have your very best content, your very best 3 top, middle, and bottom of funnel pieces of content. The framework that you make 1-minute videos, the hook, the first 3 seconds, right? Making vertical video, making sure that it's walk and talk and you're showing yourself on the roof. You're showing yourself outside next to the air conditioner, not just in the office with the white wall behind you like a prison lineup, right? There's all these basic techniques on how you make these videos, right? And how it ties to your personal brand, which then helps you rank on Google for whatever it is you want to rank on, right? Super easy.
Just a fabulous system, Dennis, and so easy, like you said. I think that's the amazing part of this. It's just a matter of doing it. It's taking it, amplifying those videos, finding the winners, and then proceeding on from there.
Yeah. Super easy. There's no magic here. It's literally that. And go ahead.
Dennis, you shared some amazing stuff with us today. If people want to learn more about this, I know you've got an entire course available.
Yeah.
Where do we find that if we want to get into the nitty gritty? I mean, obviously you've taught us enough today. We can go create content. We can start $1 a day. Some of us like to dig in a little deeper. How can we do that?
Yeah. Just Google me.
All right.
And you'll see whatever it is you want to watch YouTube videos, you want to download guides, you want to engage with short little tweets, you want to watch webinars, you want to read articles, you want to hire one of our VAs, you want to get your own VA, like it's all there. You literally Google it, or actually do this. Here's my favorite thing to do. And this makes me obsolete, which is great. I can go to ChatGPT. So what's a question you would have? Here, let's say pretend you're Dennis Yu, okay? You don't even have to ask me. You can just ask, because ChatGPT knows me well. And you're Dennis Yu. Answer this. What's the question?
How long? Well, let's just say, what is the best platform to do $1 a day on? There we go.
Who are you?
I know it works. I know it works on all of them. So I'm curious what ChatGPT thinks.
For plumbing HVAC companies, right?
Oh, good point. Yes.
Because if you don't give the robot the appropriate instructions, then it can only do so much. It really is the issue is
prompting is everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Facebook's. I believe that's where to start because that's where homeowners are.
Makes sense.
I'd start with Facebook. Yeah, and here it is. Right.
Great information. Even why. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So like I've done this enough times where like it knows who I am. Right. So It's actually pretty good. I don't even need to read it. I've done it enough times. Like I already know it's good. Okay. Yeah. Of course, the caveat. Well, I'm not Dennis Yu, and yeah, and it's only till September 2021. Got it right. Who's
Well, but
Jonathan
then
Mast?
we start and we try to fix it.
Yeah. Now, here's what I want all you guys to do. I want you to go into Chat GPT and ask it who you are, right? And if it doesn't have this information, then you have an SEO problem. But it's actually deeper than that. You have a reputation problem. It needs to know this. But at least it knows who Valorous Circle is, right?
And obviously that's where the attention's gone, and I need to put more attention in myself and personal
Yeah.
branding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if it doesn't know who Jonathan Mast is, can I say, okay, ChatGPT, pretend you're Jonathan Mast, and I'm going to ask you this question. How would you respond? It can't because it doesn't know who
Yeah,
Jonathan Mast is.
it won't know.
Yeah. So I could say like, what, or you get the idea. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so it knows who I am. I'm Dennis Yu, and I'm. Well, let's see here. No, I want it to be Dennis Yu. Pretend you can pretend it's Gary Vaynerchuk. What questions would you ask me if you're a no, I got to remember who's who. Okay, now I'm going to ask what are 10 things that a plumbing HVAC company can what are 10 mistakes? That's probably better. 10 mistakes that plumbing HVAC companies are making with their local SEO. And what are simple checks I can use to see? Now it's like if you were to have a private consultation with me, and I could say instead of this, I could say for this company,
Absolutely.
and I can pass in that information.
I'll admit I used that exact or almost the exact same prompt to write one of the promos for this event.
Yeah,
What would Dennis Yu? How would Dennis Yu promote this live training? And it told me and gave me. It was fantastic.
it's like WWJD, right?
Yeah.
People say
Yeah.
WWDD, right? Yeah. And then it's the same thing. It's like how would I apply dollar a day as a plumbing contractor in Grand Rapids if I'm not well known and suck on video?
There you go.
Yeah. So I can.
No, that assumes the filters don't stop you for the one word. No, you're good.
Yeah, I have a rough idea of exactly where the church lady will start chiming in. Right. But I can say this because it knows the dollar a day strategy, right? So it's like it knows what to do. But let's say what are the let's see, how would you summarize dollar a day strategy for plumbing HVAC companies? I don't even need to tell you what dollar a day is. I'm just going to have ChatGPT tell you what it is because it knows. It's already sucked in the internet. I've taught this thing so many times. There's so many case studies out there. Look, yeah, this is exactly what I said. Take your best content and boost it. And then see how it works, right? And take the best ones and put more money on it.
Well, this brings up so many interesting things about how search is going to change down the road and all that. And wow, I know we don't have time for that today. I appreciate you sharing this because this shows us how important it is to have that content that you're talking about. We've got to have that content, or the systems aren't going to know who we are.
So here's the hack that to summarize our whole time here. And video editors, you can pull this one piece to get people in as a hack. The key to dollar a day in SEO and AI is feeding your knowledge into the AI. When you can ask the question like we're doing here on what is the dollar a day strategy and how does it apply to HVAC companies, if it can answer questions that your consumers have, by knowing who your company is, you will win the SEO and AI and PPC game at the same time. You will win all of these games at the same time, because when the system knows who you are, it knows how to optimize for your ads. It knows how to drive more clients. It knows who your best customers are. It knows your competitors. It can pull in your specific data because of plugins. And Bing has plugins now for people that pay for Google Apps. I just got in today because of their announcement yesterday. I believe SEO is bigger than it's ever been. And so the stronger you are on social media, meaning the more video content you create, the stronger you're going to be on SEO, because that content you create is going to drive what I'm showing you right here. The search engine and Facebook and the AI bots can answer your questions and create your content for you if it already knows who you are and who your customers are. So if you're collecting all this on your phone and you feed it into the AI can take it from there. You do not need all these agencies and all these people trying to sell you this wizardry hocus pocus. You just need to feed the system, let the system do the work for you. The whole point of Dollar a Day is to amplify what's already working. And you can see, because the AI knows who I am, it can work as me. It's that simple.
Well, Dennis, this has been incredibly enlightening, and I think just a great way to summarize things at the end. So thank you so much for your generosity to spend an entire hour here with us today, sharing. Thanks for being willing to and open to share your system. I mean, so many others would put everything behind a paywall and not let us have any of it. And I so
There's
appreciate
no
your
secret.
abundance. Yeah, but I love the
The gym.
abundance
Imagine I'm
mentality.
showing you how to use the equipment in the gym, and other people are like, "Oh, this is a secret. I can't tell you how to do a curl or a bench press." No,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. Watch me do it. Right? Literally. There, I'll just show you one thing. I am tired. I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. I am tired of digital marketing consultants and agencies and all that talking about stuff they've never done. Right? So if I do Dennis U bench press 250, you think I can bench press 250 pounds, Jonathan?
I bet you can.
But what if I just told you I did? But
Well, that wouldn't be
you
near
know,
as convincing. All right, guys, I think we lost Dennis here. Not sure what happened, but I'm still showing his live. We're going to give Dennis just a minute and see if he comes back in. He's in the middle of proving that he can bench press 250 pounds. So I'm going to message him really quickly here and see if he comes back or not. Let's see here. Don't know what type of thing might have happened. Let's just message him here live. See if he can log back in. All right. So there's the benefits of having Dennis on chat. Let's just give him a minute and see. We don't know what type of technical issues he may be running into. So while we're waiting for Dennis, I just want to take a moment and I want to encourage you to do exactly what Dennis has been talking about and start by creating content. Everywhere you go, when you have thoughts, when you're thinking about things, when you're answering questions for your customers, if you're answering those questions for one customer, other customers have those same questions. And don't hesitate to put that on video. And once you've got it on video, share it, put it on YouTube, upload it to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure that those are available no matter where you're at so that people can find them. And ultimately, as Dennis is talking about, over time, so that Google and the other AI can find them and start driving that in. All right, Dennis is back in the house. He's coming. There he is.
oh, I think I accidentally somehow jumped out. I don't know what I did.
I say, I don't know what happened there, but welcome back. We were just talking about, wanted to see that picture of you bench pressing 250 pounds. So,
But the thing now is, especially with AI and the search engines getting smarter, your ability to market your business is basically a reflection in the mirror. It's your ability to show how well you do what you have to actually show what you're doing, which will allow the search engine or social network or AI to be able to give you more of the thing that you want. So when I Google people or I look you up on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, and I don't see evidence of you being good at what you do, I don't see you with your customers, then, and it's not the same thing as testimonial. It's not the same thing as
Right.
having lots of reviews. I need
No,
to see
absolutely.
short little videos of you doing what you're doing and the technicians doing what they're doing behind the scenes. They don't have to be professional, whatever, videographers. They just need to capture these quick little day in the life sorts of moments. If you literally do that, everything else will fall into place because the algorithm, as you saw, will optimize.
Oh, and that's
This,
the beauty of it. It's a
I used a
system.
Keurig
We just
machine.
need to follow.
This morning, I used a Keurig machine and I put the little pod thing in and I pressed the button for it to brew. And you know how to use these things?
It worked. Yeah.
I've done it probably thousands of times. But let's say, Jonathan, you've never used a Keurig machine. Do you think you could brew a cup of tea as good as me, even though I've done thousands of these? If you just stuck the thing in, closed the lid, and pressed the button just like I did.
I bet it'd be identical.
Yeah, but I'm an expert. I've done it thousands of times. For many years, I've done Keurig. Many years.
Yeah. But Keurig it's straightforward. It's a process. If
Oh,
I
okay.
follow the steps, I'm going to have the same thing.
So then, does that mean? I mean, I've spent $1 billion using this dollar a day technique for tons of industries over many years. So certainly, I'm better at dollar a day than you, right, Jonathan?
Well, that's why we learned your system, and now we can do the exact same thing. We don't
Oh,
have to have spent $1 billion.
yeah, but I'm a plumbing HVAC company, and I don't know anything about digital marketing. All these other people, these agencies and consultants, tell me that's way too complicated. You might electrocute yourself trying to touch that stuff. Digital marketing and SEO is so complicated. It's so magical. You want to trust the experts at SEO and digital marketing, right? Because they know all this stuff, and you'd probably screw it up if you did it yourself, right?
Dennis, I can't stand people that act like that, but you're right. No, it's simple. You just follow the system.
Well, all
Anybody
these
can do
I
this.
showed you all these secret techniques, right?
Not
Secret
not
way
a
to do bench
one.
press, right?
Yeah,
It's this
there.
big secret I showed you.
I think that's the key, and I think it's important for us to understand. It's not a secret. It's a process, and we just need to follow the steps like any standard operating procedure, and we're going to get similar, if not the same, results.
And that's it. There it is. The magician reveals his tricks. I literally showed you how we do it. I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And it'll still work for the next 20 and 30 years. Still work. There'll be different systems, and
Sure.
it might not be Google and Facebook anymore because every year there's like a new thing. But I guarantee you the general idea of amplification and this dollar a day technique, which is a testing methodology, will continue to work.
Absolutely. Well, and again, that's why I want to say thank you again for being willing to share this with us. You have such an amazing abundance mentality. I'm so grateful for that. So I've got to know you over the last year and a half. It's been truly amazing to have that abundance shared, and I think it's a testament to who you are and how well you're known because you're so willing to share that, and that's just amazing.
Well, this is coming from the generosity lunch man, the Mr. Generous himself. So I appreciate that.
Well, absolutely, Dennis. You've been an inspiration to us all. And again, I just want to thank you for your time today. It has been so amazing, and I consider it a privilege to be able to sit here with you and have a conversation and share this out with everybody. So, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jonathan. You're the best. Thanks for doing all the legwork and putting this on and turning it into articles and blog posts and all that. And all this is fantastic. And you're putting it out there without even selling anything. So this is great.
Same as you, and more of those windmill videos. By the way, the windmill dunk was impressive. I saw that this morning. That was great. That was fabulous. I don't think I could do that one. I'm a little older. I don't think I could pull that one off. That was impressive.
I'm nearly 50, and these kids they all think I'm like 28 or something.
That is so amazing. I love that. I love that. Well, to think that that one guy had 2 million followers, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
So,
he jumps so high, he gets his waist at the rim.
oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's
Wow,
incredible. Yeah.
wow. Well, again, Dennis, thank you so much. Have a great day. And if you've been with us on the live stream, we thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to Google Dennis, put it in Chat GPT, ask what dollar a day is, and implement the strategy. Follow it step by step. You'll be amazed at the results. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Dennis.